guys, this is a review of the Makita mid-torque impact wrench model DTW700. I did make a review of the high torque impact wrench. You can go and check it out. This is basically a mini version of that impact. It has all the same features, including the isolated battery base. So you can see this moves separately from the handle, so it will never crack there, and it reduces the vibration into the handle. You can see the screws go through the plastic body into the metal nose cone. Same with the high torque. In the high torque video, I think that has 1 million views now. None of my Milwaukee stuff has that kind of views. People love these Makita impact wrenches. I put it on the Skidmore and it put out 514, so it's dead on. And after using it, I really had no issues with it. I would say 500 foot-pounds of torque. It's kind of underpowered for rusty, corroded stuff. But if you're working on something that's not all rusted and corroded and seized up, this should be able to do 99% of what you need it to do. It's not going to take the place of the high torque. It cannot remove crank pulley bolts. Like, it can't do it without the crank socket. Okay, it just can't do it. It's not very good with the swivel joint. It doesn't seem to like those. Other than that, I thought it's compact. It could fit behind the brake caliper. If you get a straight on shot to the brake caliper bolts, it'll probably take them off no problem. It does have a couple of issues, and strangely enough, they're the exact same issues I pointed out on the high torque impact. So if you go watch that video, you'll see it's the exact same issues. The first one, and they may be minor for you. It's something that it really bothers me. The first one is, you can see they've updated the LEDs to the surface mount. Gone are those old style bulb LEDs, but they are no brighter. Like, this is probably one of the worst lighting in all of impact history. All right. Right, it's useless, completely useless. And people don't understand, when it's sunny outside and you're working under a car or in some dark area, it's really hard for your eyes to adjust from going bright to dark, and having a bright light on the tool really does help. Only I think Ingersoll Rand and DeWalt have got it right. DeWalt's LED on the base here is super bright. No one else really compares to those two. So this thing's completely useless. Another thing you'll notice is when you press the trigger, off the trigger, your finger will cover the LED. All right. So what a mess that is. I have size small fingers. Anything bigger, your glove's just gonna sit up like that. So it's completely useless. Now, the second issue, which is probably a big issue for a lot of people, and I pointed it out on the previous review. I don't know why they keep I don't know why they didn't change it, but you can see here they have put the metal clip on the metal anvil with no rubber O-ring. So there's no O-ring behind that clip. And this is going to be an issue for some people. Some people it might not be an issue, but there is absolutely no pressure on this ring to grab onto the socket. All right. And all they got to do is machine that down that anvil, put the rubber O-ring, then the clip, and it's perfect. But at this point, that clip is pretty much useless, especially if you are using sockets that have any kind of wear on them, okay? Because this is just super loose on the anvil and they'll fall off. So other than that, there's no real big issues with this impact. Same quality as the high torque. The screws do go through the body into the nose cone, but if you plan on taking these screws out for whatever reason, I would suggest against it because they are red Loctite into the nose cone. So if you take them out, you're going to have to chase the threads and to get the Loctite out, or they may not thread back properly. And there really is no reason to take off that cone. Like say you want to grease it or something like that. It's probably very rare thing that you're going to want to grease it because there's a seal in here. So the grease doesn't really run out very easy. Like the waltz don't have a seal here. So the grease just pours out. So you have to take the cone off, grease them, put the cone back on. These ones, I never noticed an issue with that. And you can see here, there's actually, I mean, this is fresh out of that video. There's nothing coming out of there. So there is a seal. So I would just say leave it alone and save yourself from a headache. But if you are going to take them out, they do have Loctite on them. Other than that, really nice small impact, and that's about it.